The Nissan Note, firstly developed in 2004 to enter into the hatchback category, to the small hatchbacks category. So once it entered the market, it was firstly developed in America and the Asian markets, and it performed well. So, but in 2016, they decided to improve or upgrade their engine terrain so that they can be more fuel efficient in a manner. So Nissan decided to introduce the e-power, or the electric terrain, or the hybrid system. But the hybrids in Nissan don't work as, let's say, the Toyota hybrids or the Mitsubishi hybrids. You'll find that the petrol engine used in this car acts as a generator of sorts to power the electric motor of this vehicle. So this is the 2017 Nissan Note E-power, and let's dive into it. Starting off with the face of the Nissan Note E-power, Nissan have been known to make quite questionable looking vehicles, but the Nissan Note stands out a bit in the market. Starting at the design of it, it's quite sleek from the front going onwards backwards. Since this is a hatch, it has a very straight back, but at the face, it's quite appealing. We have this blue badge near this chrome strip, noting that it's a hybrid. We have the chrome strip at the front. We have the Nissan badge there, and that's where you'll mount the plates. So we have the daytime running lights as well, making it feel a bit more premium. And we have the xenon headlights and the halogen lights here at the front, which make this car very bright at night. We have the fog lights down below, and security-wise or safety-wise, this car also has plenty to it, since it has the 4 parking sensors at the front, it has the ABS, it has lane keeping assist. We'll talk about that once we get to the interior. But at the front, we have these 4 parking sensors at the front, and we have this premium feeling headlight washers, which don't come as standard in most hatchbacks, as you will see on the road. Ata Mazda's mingi nanga, but the Nissan Note offers it in this hybrid vehicle. What powers the Nissan Note E-power? The 2017 car, it's powered by a 1.2 liter 3-cylinder, and it's a petrol engine. It uses the CVT transmission, or in this case the ECVT. So that's the inverter for the generator system for this vehicle. As I stated previously, the hybrid system in the Nissan doesn't work like the other companies. You will find that the Toyotas mostly use the regen braking system, and in this case they use the petrol as a generator to power the electric engine or the electric output for this vehicle, since this car solely relies on the electric system for this vehicle. In the Mitsubishi part, you will find that their hybrid system works hand in hand. So when the mafuta ikiisha, ina turn on the hybrid system, and when the hybrid system iko low, inategemea the hiyo sasa petrol system. So that's how they work, and I wouldn't say one is better than the other. It depends on the user. But I once did a survey comparing the Toyota RAV4, Mitsubishi Outlander, and the Nissan X-Trail. I haven't done similar vehicles in this class. But in those categories, in the terms of output and mileage, travel distance, the Nissan actually was the second ranked in that case, because the Mitsubishi went 805 kilometers on a full battery and a full tank. The Toyota went 1,100 kilometers on a full battery and a full tank, and the Nissan went 905 kilometers on a full battery and a full tank. So the Nissan generator system, basically, it's quite functional. So in this case of the Nissan E-power, its advantage is that its fuel economy, it's 29 kilometers per liter, which is quite efficient in today's fuel market. So that's everything that you will need to know about this engine bay. In terms of the reliability of it, I haven't had any issues with the Nissan Note in this case, but in the Nissan Patrol, for example, in the newer generation, upon your zimesikia issues, but that happens in most vehicles wakianzia a new generation. So unapatanga even in Toyotas, Lexus, any car that it's known for its reliability. in the first years waki produce a certain engine, or when they update their vehicles, in the first 2 to 3 years there are a lot of issues and problems, and they fix it later on in that generation. So this is the 2017 lineup, and it is the second generation, and it is in the later years, so it hasn't had an issue so far yet that I have known of. So let's go to the side profile of the Nissan Note E-power. The side profile of the Nissan Note, it's quite sleek. Starting at the front, we have this nice curvy appeal to it, aided with this wing at the rear, increasing its downforce. We have the radio antenna on top and the rain guards here. All the handles of the doors have chrome strips, and if you want to lock the door, you have a small black button here. We have these indicators here and the e-power badge below. So the main thing that you will notice from this vehicle, it doesn't have a lot of flashy things on the side. This vehicle isn't meant to be expensive or a luxury vehicle. It's meant to be a practical car. So everything that you will see, it will not even stand out to you basically, but you will appreciate it for what its power and what it can offer to you. So starting off, the doors, as you can see, they're very large, meaning it has a plenty of legroom, as you will see when we get inside the vehicle. The rear of the Nissan Note E-power, we have this wing at the top, the antenna, as you can see. We have these rear brake lights here, and we have the LED brake lights as well here. We have reflectors down below surrounded by this plastic guard, and we have the 4 parking sensors at the bottom. The badges on this vehicle include the Note, the Nissan badge, the e-power badge over here, and the medalist badge here. So accessing a tailgate, it doesn't have an electric tailgate, but it has the hydraulic stands to help hold the trunk up. The trunk isn't the largest. This is a small hatchback, but it is a very practical hot hatch. It's one of the largest trunks in its lineup. So underneath here, you will find the battery for this vehicle and tools to help you make small repairs on the road. If anything breaks down, maybe you need a changing, or maybe you need to repair your tire. It doesn't come with a spare tire. So that's it. We have a light at the corner there. Yeah, and that's it. This is one of the largest trunks I've seen, width-wise, in most hot hatches. The Nissan Note E-power, interior-wise, it's quite comfortable. These seats aren't bucket seats, but they are quite practical. We have this armrest here. It doesn't have the typical armrest with the storage. So for the storage part of this vehicle, you'll find it's not as plentiful, but it's a hot hatch, a small kadudu in a way. So you won't find large volumes of spaces, but it still has enough for a daily driver. For a practical aspect, we have 2 cup holders. So if you are grabbing a coffee, a cup of water, or a bottle of water, you can just place it down here. Here behind, we have a bit of storage, and the glove box, it isn't the largest, but it will do the job. So that's it for the storage. For the doors, you can hold maybe 500 ml water bottles. They aren't the largest, but you can put maybe a few coins in this space right here by the doors, and that's it. So moving forward from the storage aspect for this vehicle, material-wise, this isn't a luxury vehicle. It's a daily driver. Hii ni gari ya kukutoa point A to B efficiently. So when you're purchasing this vehicle, mostly you're looking for a daily driver, something that will not drain your pockets. You're looking for convenience for anyone that might enter this vehicle. Let's say if you're entering the Uber jobs or a taxi, or even unaenda hata kama wewe ni engineer or you're going to site visits, for this vehicle, it's quite decent. So the steering wheels are rubber fitted. Everything else, it's plastic. So the seats are leather with the fabric material on the seats, which makes it quite nice and very subtle to your bum. The other thing I liked about this vehicle, it's this gear shifter. It isn't the typical gear shifter where if you want to go from one gear to another, you just move it anyhow. So in this vehicle, you just have to move it sideways and push it to wherever the the gear is, and in order to note what anything does, going up it's in reverse, going down it's drive, going sideways it's neutral. To go into parking, you just have to push the center button here. So being a hybrid vehicle, let's power it up. So it is a push to start for starters, and for a hybrid vehicle ndo ujue iko quite silent. At the moment it's on. It's a Japanese vehicle, as you've heard. Yeah, sasa that's the petrol engine kicking in since imeacha tena, kumaanisha iko na ample charge for this vehicle. In order to change your drive modes, we actually have 3 drive modes for this vehicle. Being a hot hatch, we have the eco mode, the comfort mode, and the sport mode for this vehicle. In order to interchange between them, we have a drive mode button here. So if you press it on the screen here, it will display each and every command that you put. It doesn't have an electric handbrake as well. We have this handbrake, the manual handbrake. We have a 12-volt socket down here below, and that's it for the below parts. Going onwards to the infotainment section, this thing is paired with an FM radio, a Bluetooth. You can pair your Bluetooth device here. You can pair your phone as well, so that you can be able to pick calls from the steering wheel. So that's a bonus feature. And you can also connect your house cable here. Yeah, and that's it. This is your button for the hazard, the air ducts, and these are the climate controls for this vehicle. So let's turn it off to consume the battery really. So in the rear seats of the Nissan Note, I'm sitting quite comfortably and have moved this seat to the rear rest extent. So the legroom is quite adequate. We have plenty of headroom as well. Atakama it's slanting at the back, is still quite comfortable since these seats zime sit like this. So ni kama zime sink, which ni quite comfortable. Ingekuwa better lakini kama ingekuwa na ample thigh room, but that's an issue. Hiyo ni shida ya watu warefu tu kama mimi. So we have this armrest here with 2 cup holders as well. So if you are carrying, and let's say for Uber, your clients as well wako sorted with the comfort levels here. That's it for the rear seats. Rear seats are still leather fitted with this fabric material at the center. At the bottom of this vehicle, the Nissan Note comes with very nice textured mats that I'll show you, which are quite pleasant as well. So the car pockets that are offered are only in the left side of this vehicle. This side doesn't have, and the storage it was talking about, it's below here. So the Nissan Note E-power, I would advise, if you're looking for a practical car, I would suggest you get this vehicle. Not only is it quite efficient in terms of its practicality, let's say tutoe hybrid system aside, because that's the main selling points for e-powers. Apart from that, what else is offered with this vehicle? First of all, it's a lower cost. In most hot hatches these days, utapata for the size of this vehicle, this car, it's retailed, I'm asking price yake, it's quite low. It's only 1.3. Uki compare with the vehicles in the market right now, you can find a Mazda going for about 1.5, 1.6. This one is quite high. Utapata pia running cost for this vehicle, as long as you maintain it decently, unaipeleka the timely maintenance ama the timely service required for this vehicle, it will serve you for a long time. Another thing that I like about this vehicle, apart from the hybrid system, it's the feel. So in most vehicles, ama the most hot hatches you will find in the market, utapata the rear seats ziko na smaller leg room, haziko as quite comfortable for everyone in this vehicle. But Nissan decided wanaweza compromise on the looks for the vehicle kidogo. But in terms of passengers na in terms of the driver, everyone is comfortable, wako na decent trunk space, kila kitu iko sawa for a lower cost, which for a practical aspect of the vehicle, you should quite consider. Yeah, so that's the review of the 2017 Nissan Note E-power. I actually like this vehicle for a starter or for someone who's just looking for a point A to B vehicle. This car is well suited for you. So thank you for tuning into Drive Dive. Thank you for every new subscriber that has tuned into this video, and see you on the next episode.